the third job is going to look like this, and the fourth job is going to look like this. Okay, so when I submit this, I'm actually submitting 4 jobs, and each of these jobs is going to actually analyze a different set of files. The first job will just analyze all the files that begin with 017. The second job will analyze all the files that begin with 018. And the third job will actually analyze all the files that begin with 019. And the fourth one will do everything with 020. And right now, when I say analyze, all I'm doing in this loop is just echoing the file name. Okay? So maybe you'll have a better idea of what all of this, what's happening here. If you go ahead and submit a job that just looks like this. Okay, and I'm going to copy this onto Etherpad. All right, someone's already done it. Awesome, okay. So let's go ahead and submit this job, okay? And it's going to take, I guess, no time to run. So I'm going to say qsub submit.sh. And you see that the job index or the job ID that I get is now a little bit different. It has these empty square brackets, which actually tell me that it's a batch job. So if I say qstat followed by that ID, nothing. It says the job is finished. Okay, if the job is finished, then I can touch my current directory and then have a look. Okay, you see that I actually have a lot of files here. Okay, I have nelly.o followed by the job ID, and then I have 4 files. The first file is the file in which the job array index was 17. The second file is the one in which the job array index was 18. The third one had 19, and the fourth one had 20. So for example, if I look at the file that, let's see here. Sorry, I'm hanging a bit here. Is everyone having a laggy scratch too? Yeah, okay. Let's have a look at the file which used 18 as its PBS array index. And this one just basically looped over all the files that have 18 in their name and just printed them, right? Does this make a little bit more sense? So if you look at the file that ended with 17, it will just list the files that had 17 instead. All right. So now we've successfully sort of split our entire job up into 4 chunks. And now we actually want to analyze all of those results. Before I do that, let me just go ahead and get rid of all of these files. I'm going to remove everything that has .o and .e in its name, which basically gets rid of all of those output and error files. Okay, and now I want to change submit.sh so that I'm not just outputting the name of the file inside the loop, I'm actually running the analysis on that. Okay, does this make sense? Does the task make sense to everyone? All right, so I'm not going to do this. I'm going to go ahead and get you to do it. You just have to change, well, not just, but you have to change this file so that this loop here actually runs the analysis on each of the files that belong to this job. Okay, and I'm going to give everyone about 15 minutes to figure that out and submit a successful job. If your job is queued or running for more than about a minute, then probably everything is going okay. Until that happens, you basically have to keep trying and making this work. Okay, so let's give everyone 15 minutes to do that. Stickies down, and let me know. Talk to your neighbors if you need any help. No, that's completely fine. I realize this is such a huge mouthful. Right now, what this job does, okay, is it's basically split in 4 pieces. In the first piece, that special variable PBS array index has the value 17. In the second piece, it has the value 18. The third piece, it has the value 19. The second piece, and the last piece, it has the value 20. So let's take the case in which its value is 19. Okay. So if you look at the beginning of the loop there, what that loop now reads is for file in any0 19 star.txt, do the following. And the following in this case is just echo that variable file. And remember, how many files are there which match that pattern? Any0 19 star.txt. There's 3 of them. So this loop will execute 3 times, 1 for each one of those files. Okay. Let's consider now the case in which PBS array index is 17. So now the loop changes for this job. The loop is instead for file in any ne017 star.txt. And how many of those are there? 5 of them. So that loop executes 5 times. So the job that ended, or the job that had 17 as the array index, printed 5 lines of output, basically just the files that have 017 in them. The line or the job that had 19 as its PBS array index just printed 3 lines of output. Basically, each line was just the files that have 19 in them. So you need to change this submit script now, not just to echo or to print the file name, but to run the analysis on that file. Does that make sense? So the loop needs to not run. The loop now needs to run the analysis on the file. Yeah. So remember, to run an analysis on the file, you had to do Python space stats.py space the input to that script stats.py. Okay. And I realize that's a mouthful, so I'll just I'll come around and help you out if you have any questions. Okay. So raise your hand or put up